Ladies and gentlemen, Six Fig Stock Trader here on YouTube, folks. We are looking at Crypto.com today. Let's just breeze through this quick. We can see that CRO is up 36%. Wow, trading at almost 38 cents. I do use Crypto.com to buy CKB simply because it allows you to send the CKB off the exchange. Now, this is a good thing because we want to avoid any and all possibilities of a Mt. Gox situation. If you're not familiar with this, look it up and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Not saying Crypto.com is shady at all. Not the slightest. This is an ERC20 token, and I love Crypto.com. And we can see that the circulating supply is 25 billion with a max supply or a total supply of 30 billion. Now, these numbers look a lot like CKB, and we can see that the total market cap is 9.5 bill. So I hate to talk CKB in a CRO video, but when CKB gets some of these larger market caps like 9.5 billion, we might expect that to trade right around the same price. These are very identical or similar in the same fashion when it comes to circulating and total supply. But this is not a video about CKB, so before we get into this, check me out on Twitter at Real6Fig. This is where I drop all the news and charts and information that I find interesting. So if you want to know what I'm looking at, this is a great place to follow along. To the charts, I must have reviewed this or something in one of the live streams we did a few weeks ago, and I must have came to the conclusion that we were seeing an ascending triangle, and that is exactly what happened because we saw price action rip off to the upside. So what happened here? Well, we saw these lows kept getting higher, and we saw the highs staying put. So eventually these lows just flip-flopped, and now they are heading higher. So at $9.5 billion market cap, I mean, CRO could run a little bit more. I do think that. If we look at this thing on, I'm going to go ahead and just delete all of this stuff. So if we look at this, I mean, man, within the last 5 days, this thing has gone parabolic. I want to see what this thing looks like on the daily. There we go. Okay, so we definitely have some big time bullish engulfing that really spiked takeoff. And we can see that on the daily chart right now, folks. We are trading quite a distance away from this cloud, and we 2 or 3x'd from about 20 cents all the way up to 50 cents. So this is definitely one of those situations where I think we might see some sort of ascending triangle or symmetrical triangle form in a fashion where we get closer to this cloud before we move back up. So with this wick so long and tall like this, we can see that the bears and probably all these people holding for so long sold the top here and stripped this candle all the way down. So with that said, you can kind of see what happens in similar situations. I mean, man, we've seen this occur over and over again where this parabolic movements just put out a nice symmetrical triangle, but then they failed. So that is not really encouraging to see, but it is what it is. We can see that once this did consolidate a little bit closer to the cloud, there was a little bit of an uptick in price. So I do think that could be what happens here on the daily chart in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I do think that we may not see price action really rip to the upside in the next few days. I think that there needs to be a little bit more consolidation before this thing can rip up. And when we start seeing massive tulips like this, I mean, it's just we need to let things work out through their natural processes. We need to let Elliott wave and the retracement process do its thing, because right here we can pretty much see that there was some sort of Elliott wave theory to the upside here, quite possibly. And I do think that most people would agree with that study and use Elliott wave theory. So this is definitely relevant, and I do think that we will see some sort of ABC, something like this, ABC retracement, happen here over the next few days before we decide to move back upwards. So anyways, that is where CRO is right now. RSI is at 78, but this could in fact be wave one of a grander scale Elliott wave theory. So we could be seeing something like this. Bear with me 1 second. We could be seeing something. I'm going to get this out of log. We could be seeing something like this on a grander scale to the upside, where we start seeing some of these higher dollar numbers like 75 cents, $1, somewhere in there. And if we had to throw up a little bit of Fibonacci extensions, you can kind of see where I'm going with this. It would not surprise me at all to see price action maybe run up to this 200% level, which would be right around 80 cents, 81 cents. So this is not financial or trading advice, but I do think that if we see a progression in Elliott wave theory fashion, that this may be a possibility, or we may in fact see some sort of top right around this 161.8 at about 70 cents. So for that to happen, we're going to need about a just under $20 billion market cap, which is nothing in today's age when it comes to the grand scale of crypto. So, I mean, it's looking decent. I do think that like I said, I do think that there's going to be a little bit of a pullback in the coming days, but just keep your eyes on CRO. This might be a play worth making. It could just pop and drop. We might also see some sort of head and shoulders pattern form and rip back down to the downside. But I do think that with the previous chart that I had up here, hold on 1 second, we are going to see some more phenomenal results versus we're going to see some more phenomenal results than people think, because quite frankly, this thing's been in some sort of ascending triangle since about August, and we can really argue that quite nicely here. So the longer the setup, the bigger the bang in most cases, not always. I mean, I could even see this thing running up to maybe this $1.50-ish level, $2 level in time here, quick. So I don't know, folks. This is definitely going to be an exciting one to watch. I'd say keep it on your radar. I'm not telling anybody or trying to encourage anybody to FOMO into this whatsoever. I'm just kind of covering the news and what's going on. RSI is at 87, so it's a terrible time to hop in on this coin at the moment of this video. So with that said, folks, I hope you guys enjoyed this video on CRO, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Big shout out to all the Patreons. $3 a month, get your name, YouTube channel name, or business name up on this banner.